This meeting is being recorded.
So first of all, you're probably wondering why the service is going so fast.
Yes.
Okay, two reasons. I don't know how you did that. I tried to do that earlier. All right, so two reasons. Number one, when you don't have a minion, you leave stuff out, like the kid. Number two, and this is the big reason, being that this is a festival that coincides with Shabbat, we do not do Kabbalat Shabbat. Kabbalat Shabbat, when a festival occurs on Shabbat, Friday night, consists of Psalm 92, the Sabbath Psalm, and sometimes we do Psalm 93. And that's it. That's all we do. We leave out all the 5 or 6 Psalms in the beginning. We leave out Yedi Nefesh. We don't do, we don't do Yedi Nefesh. We don't do Lecha Dodi. And the reason for that is because it is indeed a festival, and you don't want to take away from the festival. But you do want to honor Shabbat, so we do Psalm 92 and 93, the Sabbath Psalms. So that is why. And of course, I have your minion. We don't do the Kiddushes, and we don't do the stuff after the Almidah. Okay, so some of you might have heard the news that happened, I believe, on Sunday or Monday, at the Islamic Center down in San Diego. Okay, 2 idiots went in, guns blazing. The security guard fended off the attack, lost his life in the process. But they had security measures in place. And because the mother of one of the kids alerted the police and said, my son is suicidal and he stole my guns, the police were able to get there pretty quick and prevent any further damage. Nevertheless, when Rebbetzin Rachel and I found out about it, I called up the Islamic Center in San Diego and I left a voicemail and I announced myself as Rabbi Stephen Epstein from Ontario. And I just told them I wanted to offer my condolences of the loss of their security guard and to sympathize with them about how horrible it was that somebody sought to do them harm. Because that's what we do as Jews. Now, y'all know my stance on Islam, and ultimately I have no problem with it. I have problem with people that take it to whatever level they take it to and use it as an excuse to attack Jews. Now, let me, and I'm sure a lot of other rabbis and Jewish leaders in the area did the same thing, because that's who we are, that's what we do. We don't want to see harm. Notice that when Jews are attacked on college campuses, what do? We don't get guns. We don't go shoot up places. We just call lawyers, which is a whole lot more effective and a lot better. And I'm sure these people are worried. And that's really the best way to handle it. You handle it within the law. So let me take a sidebar for a few years ago, we put up a bracket to put an American flag in it to fly on the holidays. And over the years, the flag got ruined by the wind and stuff. And the bracket was not the best, so I went to go replace it. And we got a better flag, a new flag, one that was made in America. So I get up on the ladder, and the screws were a wreck. I mean, instead of screwing them out, I had to take the pliers and kind of wheel them out, get the bracket off. And then I started drilling holes to put the new bracket in, which was a little bit bigger and a little bit sturdier. And as I was putting the screws in after drilling a pilot hole, and I'm drilling the screws in, I noticed something that absolutely surprised me and astounded me. How many people have done work around the house doing screws and putting up lines and stuff like that? Anybody? Yeah, you done that? Okay. What happens when you take a drill or a hex driver and you put a Phillips head attachment on it to screw in the screw? What happens as the screw gets to the end of going into the wood? What happens?
It would open up.
No, the window didn't open up, but you look at the screw, and where there was a crosshair to put the Phillips head in, there is now a big circle. That the Phillips head screwdriver will not put in any further. I had my drill, put on the Phillips head attachment, and the screw went right in, even at the end when it's the hardest for the screw to get in. Welcome to Made in America. Okay? Let's take another sidebar. I've talked about my father, who is 95 years old, and he's in pretty good health. Not just for a 95-year-old, but he's in good health. Now, he had a bout with cancer, skin cancer, as most people his age tend to. Thanks to technology originating and devised in Israel, he was able to get a drug that specifically targeted the DNA of the cancerous cells. And basically now, after a 6-month course of treatment, he is in remission. You've heard the joke. If you want to boycott Israel, if you want to boycott, divest, and sanction Israel, don't get any inoculations. Don't use cell phones. Don't use modern medicine, because they were all developed in Israel. Israel and America are logical partners. We are the best in the world. Now, that may upset some people that I said that, but it's true. Why are we the best? Why is America the leading military power? Why does a lot of our technology set the pace for places around the world? Why is Israel such a technologically advanced country? To the fact that if you look at the news, countries around the world are wanting to buy Israel's military technology, even countries that can't stand Israel and want to see it cease to exist. How's that for irony? Because this is what we do. Israel is founded by us, our people, Jews, that have been pushed around for the last 2,000 years. And we basically said, if you saw the movie Network from the 70s, we're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. Never again. What makes America such a great country? People here, we're a big melting pot. Or maybe we're not just a melting pot. Maybe as Dave Berg, the late great writer for Mad Magazine, used to do the lighter side of, he said we're really kind of a big stew. Not really much of it, but we're stew. Okay? You know, you go to LA, you got Chinatown over here, you got Spanish Town over here, you got the Jewish Quarter over here. You know, but we all get together and we live together pretty much. Okay? That's what makes it such a great country. We came here to escape persecution by other countries that said, you see it our way, or we will persecute you and oppress you. And we said, no, we got a better way. And that's what we did. You look at other countries in the world. I don't know the statistics. I should probably look it up. I'm curious. How many countries in the world are dictatorships and under fascist rule? A whole lot. Right? Probably name a bunch of them right off the top of your head. How many countries are democracies? Not very many. Not very many. That's one of the things that make us great. You've seen fictional accounts of what would happen if America ever got into a dictatorship, and I'm going to tell you, it's not going to happen. It is. Americans will not tolerate fascism. We don't do that stuff. And in Israel, they're like, we will not be conquered. 1948, 6 Arab countries attacked Israel, and within a matter of months, they were all defeated. The Roman army in 100 CE had to call in half of their army from Europe. Half of the Roman legions had to leave Europe and go to Judea because Bar Kokhba and his friends were giving them a right, were defeating them. Half the Roman army. So we are. Now, ultimately, we got defeated, and we got defeated in that conflict because it was only 1/3 of the Jews there, the Judeans, were willing to fight. The other ones were just either not interested or they wanted to stay under Roman rule. Kind of similar to what we have going on today, isn't it? Jews demeaning Israel. Okay? So, what's the lead up to all this? Where am I going with this? Why do you think we're being hated so much? How dare the minority of minorities in the world be such upstarts? We developed Hollywood. We have more than our share of Nobel Prize winners in the world. We developed cutting-edge technology, and we refuse to go away. Prior to World War II, there were 15 million Jews in the world. The Holocaust cut that number in half. Today, we stand at 15, 16 million. We're back after 78 years to full strength, to the strength we were prior to that. And yet, everybody seems to blame us for stuff. Why not just leave us alone? 15 million of us, that's it. There's what? 8 million people in New York City alone. You double that, and that's how many Jews in the world there are. What's your problem? Because we won't get defeated. Why do people hate America? Why does half the world want to destroy us? Because we won't go away. Because we're powerful. Because we stand up for ourselves. That's why. You look at any situation where there's bullies. Who do bullies pick on? They pick on weak people. That's what they do. They don't want to pick on people stronger than them. They might get their butts bit. Yeah. Right? That's what bullies do. They pick on people that they feel they can defeat, and if it's not one of them, there's a couple. There's always 2 or 3 of them. You get one of them alone, and all of a sudden they're real nice. You get a couple of his friends with him, and personality change. That's what's going on in the world. Arab countries are now siding with Israel. Why? Because Israel is defeating Iran. Iran, that was threatening nuclear proliferation. That was threatening to take over the world. The Arab countries were scared. I mean, they've got power, they've got money, they've got oil money, and yet they were scared of Iran until Israel came in. Look at the U.S. The rest of the world was being defeated by the Nazis in World War II until we got involved. And then all of a sudden, it's a whole new ballgame. That's why the world doesn't like us. This is why we stand up for ourselves. We go to a college campus. You got these Arab Islamic terrorist protesters out there. Pro-Hamas, pro-Hezbollah, pro-Houthi, pro-Iran. Preventing Jewish students from going to class. Oh yeah, that was fair. I understand. Fair. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We'll see you in court. Still going on. Court cases from 3 years ago, still going on. Now, one guy, what's his name? Mohammed Khalil, the one that was supposed to be deported. Then a judge came in and said, no, you can't do that. And then another judge came in and said, yes, you can. And then another judge came in and said, yeah, you can. Could you imagine what this guy's life is like? He doesn't have time to protest anymore. He's got a court case in front of him. Just like Columbia, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Cornell, right? Northwestern, all of them. All of them. Because we will not take it lying down. So when you ask me, okay, where's our future? It's here. Even though evil may seem to flourish, their doom is sure to come because yours is the ultimate triumph. This is Shavuot. We are the first people in the history of the world that recognized humanism. We are the first people in the world that says if someone is destitute, remember England? Remember, what's his name? Who's that one author that was always just such a bummer? I can't think of his name. Oliver Twist. And who wrote Oliver Twist? The name of that guy. See what happens when you get old?
We're not talking about Dickens.
Dickens, Charles Dickens.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. He was writing about the times. Child labor, people being tossed aside because they were poor. 3,000 years ago, 3,500 years ago, we said no. If your brother or sister is destitute, you take care of them. You set them up so they can take care of themselves. You give them a no-interest loan. You house them until they can take care of themselves. That's what we do. That's what God wants us to do. We said to God, we will do and we will hear. We committed to the commandments. 613 of them. The rest of the world's off at 7. We got 613. We said we will do it. We want to do it. Okay? We want to respect our elders. We don't want to toss them aside. We want to give charity. We want to help people. We want to make sure that if you have to sell your land after the 50th year, it goes back to your family, because we don't want to have a top-heavy society where you've got a few rich people and everybody's poor. That's why that law is in the Torah. They foresaw that 3,000 years ago. It's who we are, folks. And that is why we survive. Torah keeps us strong. Yom Kippur. My wife and I go to a store right after we break the fast. And, we're talking to the checker. And we said, yeah, we're buying food because we just ended up fasting for 26 hours. And they said, wow, only water. I said, no water. She looks, she goes, no water? I said, no food, no water. And we're standing most of the time. People can't believe we do that, but we do. It's what makes us strong. How many of you have gone to a synagogue when you were younger and you see men that are like in their 80 years old, they're Yom Kippur, they're standing, they're not eating, they're praying, 80 years old. It's who we are. We got people in our congregation that are hitting 90, they might as well be 60. My father's 95 years old. He's out playing golf and seeing clients. This is who we are. I didn't have to live to be 106. What's your secret? We're Jews. The strongest survive. That's what happened. It's who we are. I got a daughter who's 48 years old who teaches 4 fitness classes a day. She's got more energy than I do. So that's what it is, folks. So we need to be proud. And we need to be Jews. I'm not telling you to put yourself in danger. If you're in a place like LA or New York City, and you're in Grand Central, you're in Times Square, and you see all these stupid Palestinian flags, I'm not telling you to go out there and drape an Israel flag around you. Yeah, no, you don't want to put yourself in danger, right? Live for the time. But at the same time, let's be proud of who and what we are. And let's not take it, okay? You see that a lot of the police agencies are supporting us. We got the camera out there. We got bulletproof glass. We have buttons. Okay, we're good to go. And we're here. And I commend all of you for being here. Okay, there are people in our congregation that will not come to services. There's a few of them. But you folks are champs, man. You come. You show up. So good for you. And this is what's going to keep us going, keep us strong. And this is our legacy. And this too will pass. We've been here before, right? We had the Spanish Inquisition. We had the Pilgrims. We had the Crusades. And we survived as people. And we will survive this. And we will thrive as we're doing now. So I want to leave you with that. As we celebrate and acknowledge the receiving of the Torah from God, who gave us the Torah because he knew we would accept it, and he knew that we would persevere with it and preserve it. This is what's going to keep us going and strong. I want to leave you with that.